Hey there, fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and we're back for 10 more things that shock tourists when they come to Germany. We had such a great reaction from our last 10 funny little shocking things about Germany that we had to come back for more, because after living here for 3 years and having visited every year for 20 years, Germany's got a good place in my heart, and I know it's in yours too. So let's get started with 10 more fun, shocking things that shock tourists when they come to Germany. Now, the first thing I'm going to start off with is the German line culture, or should I say the lack of German line culture. Now, the stereotype of Germans, they're very orderly, they like rules and stuff like that. Well, all that goes out the window when it comes to lines, and you'll see that if you're taking the metro or the S-Bahn or anything. They don't get in a nice orderly line. It's kind of like a big jumble up to the front. It's like a blob instead of a line. And if you're going to be waiting in line for something, don't give people space, because literally people will walk in front of you to take your space and they'll say, well, it's your fault. You didn't move up. I thought you weren't in line anymore. And they'll do that, and that's how it is. So you literally, get your elbows out and have your space out there. And literally, when you want to get off the metro or the S-Bahn or things like that, the people will come right when the doors open. People are coming in, so you got to kind of force your way out, because German line culture, not so good. Even in other places. I remember I was at the U.S. consulate in Berlin years ago with an old girlfriend of mine, and we were in line, and we got there. We were the third people there. We got there hours early. Somehow we ended up being like the 20th person in, because people just kind of la 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 la. Oh, line? I didn't see a line. I'm just right here in the front. And you have that happen, and it gets really frustrating. So that is the first thing that shocks people, is how there is no real line culture here, which is funny, because the second thing that shocks you when you are here is how much the Germans do like their rules and regulations. They do like to have rules. They do like to have regulations. They want it all spelled out for them. If you work in business with Germans, you'll understand that with their contracts and stuff like that. As a tourist, what you'll see is there's going to be lots of forms and bureaucracy things you might need if you need to get a visa, if you're coming here, if you're signing hotels, all these kind of things. And the funny thing is the Germans, they like their rules and regulations, and they'll let you know if you aren't doing the rules or regulations right. So for example, in our old video, we talked about how you pay for toilets, and I got so many comments of, you don't have to pay for toilets. There's no law that says you have to pay for toilets. I'm like, well, yes, the ladies do clean the toilets, so it's nice of you to leave something there because they're there. Oh no, but there is no law for that. Okay, fine, I got that. Other things you'll see is, for example, with jaywalking, walking across the street. I lived in Germany for 3 years, and I can't tell you how many times I started to cross the street on the red light, and some old lady puts her hand in front of me and she says, hey, bei Rot musst du stehen, bei Grün lass du gehen, which means by red you have to stop, and by green you're allowed to go. Or another one they like to say is, sei ein Vorbild für die Kinder. Be an example for the children. I mean, they really like those rules, and they'll let you know about it, because you might be shocked as how forward the Germans are, especially when it comes to the rules. And that kind of leads into the third thing that'll shock you when you come here, are the kooky, funny little Germanisms that you do have when you are here. Now, I did my master's when I studied here. I lived here for a while, and I did my degree here. And the funny thing is they don't clap when you do something. They knock. They knock on the tables. You're like, what? So that's like the professional way to clap, is knocking on the tables, which is kind of interesting. Or here's one: if someone's crazy, they do this, and hey, you're stupid is this. And there's just these little tiny German things out there. How, yes, it's very important to us to have titles. And so I'm part of I have the Bahn ticket, okay? So like the Deutsche Bahn, the train system here, you can get discounts and stuff like that if you fill out the forms, and so you have to put all your titles in. So when they send me my information, it comes Herr Dr. Professor Mark Wolters. So it's Mr. Dr. Professor Mark Wolters. And there's all these little Germanisms that are out there, and it is pretty funny. And honestly, one of my favorite ones are all the different ways they like to say Prost or cheers. So if you meet a German, ask them, what's the best way to say cheers? And they'll have like 15 different versions, but there's all just these little tiny Germanisms out there that do kind of shock people when they come here for the first time, but in a nice way. Though I will say the Germanism that shocks you the most the very first time you see it or hear it is when you fly with a bunch of Germans and they land at some travel destination and they all start clapping on the plane. You're like, what's going on? Why are they all clapping? So that is kind of a thing. Now, they don't do it as much now, but that was a really big thing a while ago. So just be ready for those little silly Germanisms. And if you have some of those little silly Germanisms, make sure you put it in the comment section below so we can all have a good laugh about them. Now, going on with those Germanisms, there's one that's actually kind of a shockingly important one to know is in Germany, If it doesn't have a stamp, it did not happen. You have to have a stamp, Stampfer, or a certificate, or a Schein, or a Zertifikat, because for some reason Germans, unless there's a stamp, it didn't really happen. I remember I did my degree here in Germany, okay? I have a Diplom Volkswirtschaftswissenschaftler, okay? So it's like a master's in economics and does all this other stuff. And I'm trying to explain to the guys, like, so how does this translate? How should we do these kind of things? How do I prove I speak German? And the guy's like, well, do you have a Schein? I'm like, well, a certificate. I'm like, well, nein, ich habe keine Zertifikat, also ich habe mein Diplom hier in Berlin gemacht und so, ich kann das und das tun, and I speak really good German. And I'm explaining to him, yes, I did all these things in Germany, I've done all this stuff. And he's like, well, if you don't have a certificate, you don't speak German. I'm like, but I'm speaking German with you. I can do this all. I did my whole degree in Germany, in German. Sorry, sir, unless you have the certificate with the stamp, it didn't actually happen. So that's one of those funny little things about Germany that it won't shock you, but it will be fun. Now, the fifth thing that shocks tourists when they come here is Germans actually speak English pretty darn well. It's just that they prefer if you start in German and then they really open up, and you'll be shocked how nice the Germans will be when you do start speaking a little bit of German. Yes, they will laugh at you, but then they'll just switch to English for you. So don't be shocked if that German you think doesn't speak any English actually speaks better English than probably me, okay? And that leads into another shock that I kind of alluded to, is the Germans actually are really nice, really helpful, wonderful people. You know, we've had these stereotypes for years of how mean and awful Germans are and how unfriendly they are and how uncaring they are, and that is so not true. Germans really are wonderful people. You'll meet them in your hotel room, you'll meet them at the restaurants and the waiters and stuff like that, and when you start to talk to them, you get to know them, you really see how wonderful Germans really are, and it does shock people because they've been told their whole lives that Germans are these heartless, uncaring people. But honestly, if you have a German friend, you have a German friend for life, and it's amazing. Now, the seventh shock I have for you when you come to Germany is it's not just pork. Yes, I know pork is probably the most popular dish on food product kind of thing you will have here in Germany, but I'll be honest, if you come here, this is probably the best place in the world for vegetarian and vegan food that you can find, and the people here, they're ready to help you find those things. So they'll have on the menu, oh, this is a vegetarian dish, and this has, if this has conservatives on there, if it has caffeine, they're really cool with helping those things out. So look, yes, you can have all the pork you want, from bratwurst to Haxe to those kind of things, to non-pork things as well. So you really do have a really great time eating here, because they also brought in food from all around the world, and they really are excited to have good versions of those international foods here in Germany. So don't worry, it's not just bratwurst. Oh, and the most popular snack in Germany isn't a bratwurst, it's actually a doner kebab, which comes from Turkey. So there you go. Now, the eighth thing that'll shock you when you come here is the Pfand. If you're not sure what Pfand is, it's a deposit. When you're if you're coming here for Christmas markets and you get your mug of Glühwein, it'll say, oh, the Glühwein is 3, 4, 5 euros or whatever, and then there'll be this word called Pfand next to it with another, I don't know, 5 euros on top of that. So your 5 euro Glühwein or hot wine actually will cost you 10. The thing is, if you turn that cup back in, you get the Pfand back, the deposit back, that 5 euros, and it can get pretty pricey. We had 8 hot wines and stuff and kid wines last night, ended up having like a $90 bill or 90 euro bill because of all the deposits on there. But if you take it back, you'll get your money back, and with that, don't throw away your bottles and cans, because they also have Pfands on them as well, deposits that you can turn back in at certain stores and get your money back. Now, the ninth thing that's going to shock you when you come to Germany is when you actually drive on the Autobahn. It is shockingly scary how fast people drive. And yes, they do have the really fast lanes, stuff like that, but also sometimes people are shocked when they find out there actually are speed limits on the Autobahn. It's not open road, open season all the time. There's actually times when there are speed limits, And the thing is, when they have the speed limits, they have the Blitzen, the lightning. No, not the reindeer. It's a box that takes a picture of you like this, and they get you when you're speeding. So don't go, make sure you follow the speed limits when they are out there. And if you are going to drive on the Autobahn on the really fast parts, stay on the right side, because you may be thinking, I'm the fastest person out there. There'll always be somebody else on a Ferrari or a Porsche or something like that that's going to go right by you, okay? And that can shock the shock the you-know-what out of you when it happens. And the 10th thing that shocks tourists when they do come to Germany is the Freie Körperkultur, or the free body culture of Germany. Look, Germans are very open with their nudity and things like that. And if you go to beaches or parks or things like that, you might see a nipple here, a penis there, these kind of things. And for some tourists that come from more humble countries like the US, that does kind of shock them when they see all that nudity. But don't worry, the Germans don't care about it. I could go lay naked and no one's going to care. Though no one really wants to see that, but they're not really going to care or say anything. But what I will say is, if you're coming here with your family, be careful on TV, because if you give Junior the remote control, oh, you got jet lag, kid, just click through the channels, he probably will find softcore porn, you know, late night on normal television. And in the hotels, you'll find hardcore porn that'll show up for 5 or 6 minutes and then disappear. So for some tourists, that is a bit shocking. Anyway, those are 10 more things that might shock tourists when they come to Germany. It is an amazing place. I highly recommend it. Whether you're going to Berlin, or whether you're coming here to Munich, or Heidelberg, or the Harz Mountains, or wherever, literally, this place is amazing. Hamburg, oh my God, so much fun there. But anyway, if you want to learn more about traveling Germany, see our other video on 10 shocks of Germany. You know, check that out. Also, we really appreciate your likes and subscriptions. And you want to learn more about Germany, what you should eat when you're here, 5 things you love and hate, we have it all on our website at waltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Please do click that subscribe button, and you will get 2 or 3 travel videos from around the world every single week. So I'll say tschüss, or a little bit more formal, auf Wiedersehen from Munich. Bye.
Beer festivals and sausages, old castles and the Autobahn. In this video, let's talk about Germany. Germany has a population of 81 million and it is the largest economy in Europe, the 4th largest by nominal GDP in the world. To many people around the world, the label "Made in Germany" equals quality. Cash is king in Germany. When eating out, visiting any store, or trying to pay for just about anything, don't be surprised if the response to your credit card is 9. Most Germans still settle in cash and rely on debit cards called EC, or electronic cash. Roughly 80% of all transactions in Germany are conducted in cash. In the US, it's less than 50. Germans work an average of 1,371 hours a year. Americans, for example, work 1,789 hours. Almost everything closes at 7 p.m., and that includes most grocery stores, drugstores, and shopping malls. And if it's Sunday, you might as well stay at home because nothing is open on Sunday. Sundays in Germany really are holidays, which means nothing except for small kiosks and gas stations is open. Germans are not very religious. The Gallup organization polls show that 57% think that religion does not play an important part in their lives. In Germany, you will discover the glory of the bicycle. Once you start riding a bike, you can appreciate the extreme bike friendliness of European cities. Germany is dead serious about recycling. Just so you have an idea, Germany is #1 in the world when it comes to recycling. When Germans look at a product's package, they unconsciously think to which garbage can it has to go to. Is this plastic? Is this metal? Separating the garbage in Germany is something that really is part of your everyday life. Which country do you think has the most solar panels today? The US? China? Italy? No, Germany. Its renewable energy sector is among the most innovative and successful worldwide. Germany's long-term shift to cleaner energy has made its economy the world's largest to rely so markedly on renewable energy. Free education for everybody, including universities and including foreign students. Germany is a great place to pursue a research career. Germany has 105 Nobel Prize winners. So if you're interested in science and technology, Germany is a good destination for you. After the United States, it is the 2nd most popular migration destination in the world. 20% of people with immigrant background, 3 million of which Turkish, 1.5 million Polish, and 1.2 million Russian. Which is not surprising. An average salary of 45,000 euro provides a comfortable lifestyle. People here rent rather than buy. Home ownership rate is just about 43%. Why? The answer seems to be that Germans keep renting because rental housing is kind of nice and affordable. Public transportation is excellent. It is very practical to live in any large German city without owning a car. Most stops have an electronic timetable with exact arrival times, and it's very convenient. German taxis are cream-colored with a black and yellow taxi sign on the roof. In the birthplace of the luxury sedan, it should be no surprise that the bulk of the taxi fleet is comprised of sleek and plush Mercedes and Audis. When it comes to style and clothing, Germans tend to dress in a conservative manner. Germans are a little socially reserved. Small talk isn't really done much in Germany. Smiling too tends to be met with a puzzled and suspicious look rather than a reciprocated smile back. Germans don't smile unless there is a clear reason to. Don't be surprised if your waiter did not smile at you. But you can't really say they're not friendly, because if you ask Germans for something, they'll be glad to help you. The Autobahn is the pinnacle of the German driving experience, perhaps the ultimate in driving altogether. Virtually all of the world's serious drivers have heard of it and wanted to take their shot at conquering it. German cars are known for their precise engineering. The Autobahn completes the driving equation. More than 50% of the Autobahn has no speed limit. You heard it right, no speed limit. The automotive industry in Germany is regarded as one of the most competitive and innovative in the world, and it is the fourth largest by production. Did you know that Volkswagen Group sells passenger cars under the Audi, Bentley, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Porsche, and many other brands? And BMW produces mini cars and serves as the parent company of Rolls-Royce Motor Cars? A lot of people think about beer when they think about Germany. And they're right, of course. In total, there are approximately 1,300 breweries in Germany producing over 5,000 brands of beer. There are lots of rules in Germany, but you can drink beer anywhere. And in Bavaria, it is okay to have a glass of beer during lunch break, but of course it will depend on the company working for. Every German eats an average of 53 kilograms of bread per year. No wonder, since there is such a big selection to choose from. Germany is the nation with the biggest variety of bread in the world. Sausages are outstanding. Bratwurst, Currywurst, Leibelkäse are all very tasty. Germany is so into sausage meat that it has some types of sausage you might not be able to handle. Blutwurst, anyone? That's blood sausage, and it's genuinely made from congealed animal blood. Soccer in Germany, like in most European countries, the number one attended and practiced sport. If you're thinking about going to a sauna in Germany, you might want to know that it is common for both women and men to be naked in front of each other. Yes, this is how it works here. Germans love rules, organization, and structure. They have an abundance of laws regulating all aspects of life. For example, no loud music or noise after 10 p.m. or they will call the cops. Living in Germany is a traveler's dream. Being right in the middle of Europe provides you with the opportunity to travel almost anywhere in Europe in the blink of an eye. Austria, Switzerland, Poland, France, and many more great destinations. Germans love any excuse to throw a party. Wine harvesting season started? Wine festivals. Anniversary of a castle being refurbished? Renaming of a street? There's a festival for everything under the sun here. The biggest, of course, is Oktoberfest, one giant celebration of beer. Germans are really active. The amount of activities, especially during spring and summertime, is definitely a huge plus. There are carnivals, museum nights, fun fairs, festivals, outdoor cinemas, and so much more. For every weekend, you can find something to do. Sometimes customer service in Germany gets a pretty bad rap. The check doesn't come in restaurants unless you specifically ask for it. It may take a lot of time for the waiter to notice you, and some store clerks act as if they don't care. But don't get the wrong impression. They're just doing it a different way. They're just trying to be professional. Public nudity. When I'm saying public nudity, I'm talking about the people who get naked in the public parks and sunbathe. You might stumble across a naked man or woman laying on the back and embracing the sun, and no, they're not some hot girls that you might imagine. In the middle of the park where kids are playing football, teenagers are secretly smoking, and adults are running and walking their dogs, how is this kind of environment makes you want to get naked in the first place? And this brings us to the end of my story about Germany. And if you know more facts about Germany, please share them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned and bye.